Hello and welcome to another video. Today our topic will be the cloud attacks, and I'll cover the cloud attacks totally in this particular video. Although some of the things will be left out, obviously, because of this will be a lot deeper topic, but I can't. I'm going to focus on specific topics. Sometimes after the upcoming times, I'm going to make videos on each of the topics that I already covered on detail, and that will be a more open source video, so that will going to help you a lot. But before that, I want to talk about this, or the cloud security, or the other stuffs. So basically, what is cloud security? To talk about it, firstly I'm going to talk about some try hack me intro to cloud security room, because I don't have the subscription of it. So I'm just going to use the free write-ups that I already found in it. It's legal. Okay. First things, why I'm using this, to give you an understanding of what is cloud actually and how to protect it. So cloud computing is one of the IT industry's most common and evolving terms right now, and what it says here in simple terms, it means delivering computing services over the internet. What cloud specifically does? Cloud basically, the thing you can understand, that there is a server already set up by someone, and you are using that server by giving him some kind of a money. So this is basically what cloud is. So the customer does not need to buy or maintain physical data centers and servers in cloud computing. So that's advantage, and there are a lot of advantages plus disadvantages that you have to learn. I'm going to touch that topic now. I'm not going to touch the Amazon web services, means the Amazon AWS services. I'm not going to touch this topic. I'm just going to explain this. So it's pay as you go pricing. Okay, like how much you pay for using that kind of method. It's a little bit cheaper than buying your own servers, but buying your own servers may give you a little advantages, but a lot disadvantages too. Okay, like then comes the learning objectives, what you will going to learn in the cloud security models. Like there are some kind of things. Okay, there are cloud security models, which are the cloud security items that actually exist. Then the policies means which type of thing, and the procedures means how to do it. Okay, then security through identity and access management, basically things like the most of the security terms that you use are like authentication, and have to be authenticated credential things, other stuffs comes through. Then comes the networking management and the storage management, other stuffs like what are the actual requisites, or the things they provide, that are what we call the management systems. Then comes the characteristics of cloud. It's scalable. Okay, doesn't need to buy a lot of servers on your own. It's simple. You have to just go and just buy it, not that much need to know a lot of security terms. You don't need to do that. Then comes the cost effectiveness, uh, already termed that. Enhance automation. Okay, this thing will going to be taken a good term in the upcoming in this video, in upcoming terms. Okay, I'm going to make it a little bit what can I say, you doesn't need to actually inform it or something like that. It's an automated process. Cloud computing service required limited human administration, so companies can focus more on their goals without worrying about managing and maintaining the systems. uh, but you have to know about the cloud credentials, that also very matters. Then comes the model of cloud computing. Three big pillars. four big pillars actually, but yeah, okay, three big pillars, which are IaaS, PaaS, SaaS, SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS. You can say IaaS, or infrastructure as a service, is basically you can understand it more using this picture. So I is basically you manage and the service provider manages. Okay, so when you are doing IS, okay, IS means you are managing the infrastructure terms. Sorry, you are managing the data terms, application terms, like which are the OS you are choosing. You have already chose your OS, middleware, runtime is I don't know, but the data and the application are the stuffs. Then what the service provider means the AWS will going to manage is like the virtualization process, servers, storages, and networkings. Virtualization is not the thing you actually thinking, like running a Kali machine or something like that. That's not what virtualization is in a broader scale. Its broader scale is like it's the type 1 virtualization, not the type 2 virtualization. Type 2 virtualization, when we are doing virtualization on our computer, like in our Windows system or something like that, that is kind of called what we call the type 2 virtualization, in which the systems which are actually there are going to be systems which are there, like the Windows is the host machine, and the host machine is running another OS. But in the virtualization of of a service like AWS or something like that, then it becomes more like there is no OS, the server is directly running the virtual machines. So that's kind of a thing which we call virtualization. Then the servers, obviously, the storage, the how much storage you want, networking part, that also completed by the service. So means the infrastructure was already given by the IaaS. Then come the PaaS, means the OS and the runtime and middleware already selected by the service provider, and the application and the data you are providing, which will be going to their part, and they're going to run it on their system. Then comes the SaaS, and you every time you heard that thing, you have to understand one particular thing. Like this is kind of you can understand this as a chat GPT example. Okay, chat GPT actually runs on this kind of principle, like the infrastructure, the service providers or the company, you can say the service providers, they are actually giving the service. Okay, and the applications, if you are if you are creating your own, then it's kind of the application and data were going to be given by the service providers. Okay, like the chat GPT is given to you as a software. It's not directly a software, but you can say that, like the Avast antivirus is also one kind of SaaS product. Okay, you can say that PaaS is also, you can say this is more like a PaaS product, but yeah, that thing, like it's kind of SaaS product. So you can understand it, you can go and check it out, that the cloud provider's responsibility maintaining and provide data centers with the racks, machines, cables, and utilities that are going to be in the IaaS. And then comes the PaaS. PaaS is like the cloud's responsibility to offer in the infrastructure and platform. Customers can choose any platform as per their needs. The service provider is responsible for managing the infrastructure and the platform. Software as a service. In SaaS, everything is managed by the cloud provider, including infrastructure, OS, and software. Customer responsibility. This model is used by customers who need more technical skills in managing things. The only pay and use the service without worrying about the underlying architecture. So if a customer is using your service software for their service, like Microsoft or anything kind of like Google Docs or something like that, that is going to be under the SaaS product. Then comes cloud deployment models. There are three types of deployment model, and one another thing called community cloud, it's also there. The three types of thing are public cloud. Public cloud means if you are a startup or something like that, and big companies also do that. There are if you are a startup or big company, you already actually what you do, you mostly taken a service from AWS and you are using it, and the whole of your resource depend on AWS, right? That is what we call the public cloud. Then comes the private cloud. The private cloud is something like what we can say is that private cloud is basically that you are asking a public cloud to make their service different, or cut off from other services. You have to make them special in your case. Like what happens was, sometimes when you are using Google's or any other organizations data resources, you will not share the similar kind of services that are already there. Customers will not share underlying resources as in the public cloud. Like when a public cloud got hacked, then the attackers can see all the public data that are already available. But when you are using a private cloud, then the attackers can't see, because you are actually cut off from other public clouds. Okay, so the organization A, what will they do? They will get a virtual machine hosted on the system specifically dedicated to a particular customer. Okay, or the AWS or something like that. Then comes the hybrid cloud. Hybrid cloud is kind of the combination of it. Like they want some of the confidential data in the private cloud, but some of the for the testing software, or some of the details that are not included, not important, that is included in the hybrid cloud. Then comes the important terminologies, which are virtualization. Virtualization is primary technology that is used for cloud computing. We already talk about it. Compute, different processing powers or something like that you want to do in the complete applications, and the system for data processing, carrying out different tasks. In cloud computing, customers can get a lot of computing power from combination of virtual machines hosted in the cloud environment. Then comes the storage. In cloud computing, we do not need to buy and maintain a physical storage. That is also important. Networking at the cloud computing is a system of computers, processes that are interconnected. Maintaining high speed network connection is very important. So that is what we call networking. So there is high internet connections. You can get a little bit of idea of how the cloud data cycles are work. Firstly, the data is being created from somewhere, then it's stored. It works everywhere. Like if you are creating a kind of data, and then you store it, then you use it for a particular purpose, then you share it with a manager or something like that, then you archive it if you don't need it at that much, or you already used it, and sometimes after you will going to destroy it. This is a cloud data cycle. Okay. Security aspects, you have to create data encryption, backup. You have to take the backup regularly basis, or something like that. You are going to take a logs, and you will going to store it in a particular cheap servers, cheap cloud. That are also kind of security concerns. You have to know this particular thing, that is what we call the security issues in clouds and its solutions. So data confidentiality, when the data is hosted in cloud, it's privacy at its risk, because if the if users have no physical access to the data once it has been outsourced, they do not know that how the confidentiality of their data is being maintained. Cloud service providers can examine the data of the user without detection. Okay, so the cloud service, if they have the data, so they can do anything with it. You don't know, so you are not private anyway. Okay, then the virtualization is issues like sometimes the communication between VMs and the users are not allowed to isolate in a multi tenant environment, so one user can examine the data of another user. So if someone gets inside the virtual machines, one of the virtual machines, they can actually access another virtual machines very easily, because they are all interconnected. comes the insecure API, like if there is IDOR vulnerability. I already talked about IDOR vulnerability. So if there is an IDOR vulnerability in the API, then you can download another data. So, and then comes the malicious insiders, means maybe there are clients, or no, not clients, or if the your employees get hacked or something like that. Once happened in Uber, I guess, and what happens there was someone, a security analyst, not a normal regular person. It's a security analyst was doing an automation of new data storing inside cloud using the cloud credentials of the root user. So someone hacked the system analyst, or someone get into the system of the system analyst, and what the person did was actually who got the PowerShell script, and inside that the server credentials are there, or the root credentials are there, and he got the root access. So that is kind of happened to Uber. So that is one kind of account or surface hijacking. And then the access control mechanism in cloud computing environment, users and cloud servers are not in the same domain, so enforcing efficient and reliable access to information is critical. When data is outsourced to cloud, an unauthorized person can gain access to the data, and due to lack of access control, lack of access control rights. So then comes this, I already talked about it. Okay, so this is basically it to a starting of cloud. Then comes the attacking of cloud that I'm going to talk about today. Firstly, credential harvesting, using different techniques to compromise credentials used to access cloud resources. Okay, credential harvesting, already talked about the case in Uber, what happened in Uber. Then comes the privilege escalation. It's also a greater part. Here you can see, not here, maybe here you can see in public cloud what happened was, you're escalating the privilege. If you got the access of particular cloud network, and you got the keys or anything, okay, they can actually access a lot of it. So that is privilege escalation. Then comes the account takeover, that are already compromised someone's account, and then they got the thing. Then comes the metadata service attack, service that provides information about how to access hosted services that are going to store the user credentials, that are also kind of important. Most of the attacks can done by user credentials. Okay, then comes the misfigured cloud assets, like incorrect malicious authentication, authorization, that are going to important as a lot of it's important. Okay, federation misconfigurations, deny access of unauthorized subjects or allow access of unauthorized subjects. Okay, potential to leak credentials. Okay, that are going to be misconfigurations. Somehow I already talked about in Uber attack, they are going to leak the credentials using a PowerShell script or something like that, that are going to harm a lot of systems. Object storage, that is also kind of attack, you can say, like a DDoS attack, something like that. Okay, the DDoS is also like object storage, like improper settings, or containerization technologies, also like Docker systems. Improper container configurations can allow unauthorized connections, that are also further lead to compromise. Then comes the resource exhaustion attack, means similar to the DDoS attack. If there is no availability of the server, you can send a lot of packet requests to the server, then it's going to directly not going to work anymore. The DDoS attack. If the DDoS attack is actually you want to counter it, Cloudflare is a really good way to defend it. Okay, cloud malware injection, also one kind of delivering malware to a cloud based container, so that's going to harm the system a lot. Denial of service attack, I already talked about it. Side channels is basically generally carried out by malicious VM that sample system performance during cryptographic operations to disclose key information. Okay, that is kind of a thing. You can say that in a cryptographic operation, when a malicious VM, that is you entered a keylogger there, and the keylogger is sending the information to your email. So what happened? You accidentally, when the malicious VM will going to work, giving the doing some cryptographic operations that can disclose about the keys. Okay, like most of the things are done by in cryptographic format, so that can disclose the keys. Direct to origin attacks, attacks that penetrate layers of devices intended to protect the true network's address. Okay, two-step attack. Find the real network, then attack it directly. These are actually attacking the networks. You can similarly do how you attack a particular system. Basically, whenever you are attacking a system, attacking a machine, most of them are actually run on cloud. Nothing run on, like, nothing would be really a big word, but most of them are run on cloud. So when you are attacking a hack the box or machine or something like that, that has similar vulnerabilities as the as the normal website or server has. So nothing in the server or the machine. Most of the attacks, these are the attacks. Some of the attacks can done into the cloud service, not the organization or something like that. Okay, this is basically it. This is basically what we call the cloud system. Virtualization makes some VM or container escape attacks possible. Okay, and cloud environment security often depends on hiding true address. So basically, when you are searching a particular cloud service, you can always take it into something like there is a service, so where is the geolocation, what kind of service they are using, AWS or something like that. You can know about it, you can attack it. Then most of them are cloud attacks. If you are doing some cloud security stuff, then it's important. I'm going to make some videos on it after the Comptia Pentest series ends. So yeah, possibly this is it. I'm going to make some videos possible in the upcoming days. I'm going to make a short video on it too, because the month already ends, and I'm going to make some my traditional what I did in this month videos. So I'm going to make that video in Sunday, or maybe Sunday, either Sunday or not Monday, I guess. So yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching. This is for today.